Has a medical professional diagnosed you with frozen shoulder? Did they tell you to do this exercise? To fix it? Find out what exercises are way better than that to fix your frozen shoulder. Frozen shoulder, or adhesive capsulitis, can be caused by many different reasons. Just look it up and you'll see some wild theories about viruses invading that shoulder capsule. But if you want to go with my theory on it, I think it's because it hurts, it gets inflamed, we underuse it. Our body then creates these calluses or scar tissue in and around the shoulder joint. To fix it, we need to battle an immobility problem with a mobility solution. Today, we're gonna use a dowel to help get us some range in the early stages of frozen shoulder and or shoulder surgery. This is usually the first and best thing to do. All right, everyone, what we're gonna need is a handy dandy dowel or stick or Swiffer stick, baseball bat, lacrosse pole. You can name it pretty much, just something that's firm. What we're gonna do is, let's just actually check out my shoulders, see if I'm having any lack of range. So I've got here and yeah, that's pretty much. Let's go here, and I'm starting to feel some restriction here. Believe it or not, this is actually the side I actually had a reconstructive rotator cuff surgery, tore 2 ligaments, 50% of the labrum was taken out with a slap lesion, so it's gonna be guaranteed that usually this one's a little bit tighter. So we're gonna see this one hopefully make some changes with our passive range of motion, dowel range of motion exercise. So what I'm gonna show you before we do it is you just wanna work within your limits. You don't wanna go past, it's not a stretch. It's just work right into it and out of it. You're trying to lubricate, or what I always say, motion is lotion. You're trying to lubricate that joint and get the fluids moving. And that's what's gonna help gain you more range. You're not trying to overstretch or tear anything, especially if you've had an acute onset of frozen shoulder, or even if you had that rotator cuff repair. Like I said, it's one and the same. I actually treat them about the same. So we're gonna get started, but I'll show you the grips for the flexion. It's basically the arm is your target. This one's as limp or as limber as possible. You don't wanna help. And then this is the one that does all the moving, my left arm. So we're gonna use that, and then you're gonna go right up to this. You basically wanna split your eyeball and your groin. And you'll see me when I lie on my back. I like to do this lying on my back, but you could also do this in standing. So it's gonna go in this vector. All right, everyone, I'm on my back. And once again, this is the right limited shoulder. And what we're really trying to do is you're just working between that eyeball and groin. You're trying to split that right eye, if it's my right arm. And this one's just holding on, really. I'm not, I should be able to just let it fall down. But you're gonna go, if a lot of you have frozen shoulder, you're probably not gonna go very far. It's just gonna go right to here. So you're not gonna get a whole lot. But for me, I'm gonna go to my limit and work in that. So you can see it's more of an arc-like motion. I'm gonna tip my moving hand up and around because that's more of a natural functional movement. So I'm not just gonna keep it like this and then I'm limited. You can see that I can take that further if I elevate and go this way. So we're gonna go here, and then like I said, this one's very passive, the right arm. And we're gonna go pressure on and pressure off. You don't have to hold it for a few seconds. You can just kind of go right to that limit or where it feels painful, stretchy, and then that's about it. If you were to give yourself like a stretch grade from 10 out of the 10 being the most, or 0, no stretch, you're sitting at about a 2 to 3 out of 10 stretch. So now I'm getting a little bit more range, and if you're really cognizant and aware of where that range is, you just work right, pressure on. I don't have to go all the way down. Once you get that, you can kind of see that I'm starting to get it loosen a little bit, and I felt that kind of click in a little bit. Obviously, you guys can't hear that, but now you can see how much more range I got. Now, the next one is we're gonna go right into external rotation and internal rotation. So I like to use my moving hand, just palm down, and this one palm up if this is my target arm. So I'm just trying to pull it back and forth. So that's that. We're gonna go right into external rotation, and it looks, I showed you when I was sitting what it was gonna look like, but it's gonna be a little bit into that tension and then back off, tension, back off. If you feel tension going this way, then you can pull it this way. So it's this way and that way, this way and that way. I like to think of Charlie Chaplin doing his little dance, right? And so with the cane and as well, or good. So we're gonna go pressure on, pressure off. Now you don't need to get full range on the first day. You're gonna work into this. That's why I said you're gonna probably do this for a few weeks. And so pressure on, pressure off, pressure on, pressure off, pressure on. Now I just got a little bit more range. So I can work in it and out of it, in it and out of it to kind of tease it, get a little bit more of that lubrication into that joint. And once again, now you can see it's a lot easier. My guarding went down. And that's what happens a lot of us in pain. We get, and like I said in the intro, that we underuse it because it's in pain. You stop wanting to use it and then things get tight. You know, have you ever held your elbow like this for like 30 minutes and then try to stretch it? You'll feel a lot of that ripping and burning. That's what happens to these fibrous joints, that these, you know, they're viscoelastic, and they want to move. We're meant to move. So we want to work with it, or what I say is use it or lose it, right? Then it easily transitions to something down here by my knees right now, and then I'm gonna go up. And I like to think of it like Mary Poppins and the chimney sweepers. So chimney. So that's what we were trying to do. We were trying to get right up into there and sweep those chimneys. And that's kind of what it is. Now, next one is I just drop it down here around my belt line, and then I'm just going that way. Now, if you've got like a bed, you can just let it relax. Obviously, I have nothing right here, but you're just trying to let it slide, and you can just let it slide across. This arm is doing the pushing, and if you look from a top view, it's going from an arc-like motion as well, just like I showed when I was in sitting. So right there, and then back off. This one's actually one of the hardest ones. If you ever try to hold a dumbbell out here by the side, it actually takes a lot more work than holding a dumbbell here. So that's why this is the last step of this sequence. So you can see that now that I've gotten the joint a little bit more stretched, a little bit more lubricated, I can get things to just kind of work in that way. So there we go, pressure on. I'm getting to that end range here. Once again, it's not, I don't keep my moving elbow in. I'm just kind of going with that arc. So pressure on, pressure off, pressure on, pressure off, and I just got a little bit more range, and right there. Good. So I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna show you just the range again. So once again, I had like this one was pretty good, and now I can get up here a lot more. This one to compare, and I'm getting pretty good. Still limited, but obviously I'm just demonstrating this pretty quickly. So you're gonna give this a shot, and then we'll get back to you. In a few weeks, we will drop part 2 of this series after you've done it for some time to get more range. So let us know your thoughts on our video. Leave us some love or questions in the comments box below. Please like and subscribe. We appreciate your support. I'm Dr. Lin. Remember, we heal smarter, not harder.